Okay, I'll do that instead then. Well, the
Yeah,
easiest thing, I mean, never mind all this stuff about you. If you position yourself and price yourself, and the two go hand in hand, if you're getting the right kind of clients and you have the right kind of image, you're not going to get this very often at all. We had a couple of people in foundations say they encounter people who say almost, we're doing you a favor by letting you do the work for us and we'll maybe pay you afterwards. Like, fuck will you? The easiest way to do it is to take payment up front. Have it a rule. It's a fait accompli. There's no, maybe it's even on your fucking website. It's in your terms and conditions. You take a payment up front, 100% if you can, or at least enough to cover your expenses. So if they welsh on the debt, if they renege on the debt, you're not out of pocket either for materials or labour. So you leave your profit to go, or as close to it as you possibly fucking can. Now, someone like me as a freelancer, it's dead easy. I used to take for new clients 100% payment up front. That's it. Don't like it, we don't do it. It's as simple as that. If it's an established client, then it's 50% and then 50% on completion. One or two, I mean, the clients I'm working with now is on a retainer. A couple of times he's been late with that, not because of his own problems, but because of just fucking the banking stuff. That's fine. We have a long-standing relationship going back 10 years. In business terms, it's bad practice. But in real terms, it's perfectly safe. And I know the guy well enough to know that's not going to be a problem. His reputation is worth more than any of that. But for everyone else, and for most people, and indeed including me, I was doing freelance work, 100% up front for a new client, no question. If they're not prepared to do that, I ain't doing the work. Well, I don't give a shit. Now, I do know people in construction, or certainly in the manual trades or the traditional trades, or tradesmen who are doing this. There's one guy who fixes machines in factories. So, imagine you've got some kind of industrial machine that makes fucking knitting needles or something, and the machine goes down, you call this bloke out to fix it. And now he started doing it. He said, okay, great. Here's what it's going to cost you. Transfer the money by backs. As soon as it's there, I'll come out. Not a fucking murmur. People do it. Now, I do realise if you're getting a builder to build a house, you might not want to pay the entire amount up front because it's a fucking house and you might run away with your money. Fine. But there's always a happy medium. You can always take something, and if they won't, you don't do business with them. Now, if you're working B2C, so you're in the domestic market, there is absolutely no reason whatsoever on this or any other fucking planet for you not to get a substantial deposit to show they're earnest about having the work done and paying for it. There's none. How can they possibly refuse to? What justification they can give? They might say, you might run away with the money, but then you say, yeah, but you might run away with our work. You might not pay us. 50-50. We'll come to a way you can ameliorate that situation in a minute. But take a deposit, 100% if possible, or at least enough to cover your expenses, or as close to it as you possibly can. How difficult is that?
Yeah, not hard at all. And also, if your clients are worried that you're going to run away with their money, you probably haven't positioned yourself very well at all, because you are the company with the reputation on the line.
Exactly.
And you should be well trusted.
Nobody in their right mind who's done any kind of study of me or has followed me in any way, shape, or form for more than 5 minutes would imagine for a moment I would rip them off, because they could ask anyone. They could even ask the people who hate me the most. Not one of them will ever say, yeah, he ripped me off, because they can't. I just don't. On the contrary, I would say generous isn't perhaps the word, isn't perhaps the right word.
You're over eager to spend money. The amount of times I have to just go, slow down, John.
But it's not just that. If people come to me saying they wanted a refund on something, I'm more likely to say yes than no, even if they're not entitled to it by the letter of what we agreed, because I just don't need the hassle. I don't care about the money that much. And it's not even about, oh, I'd rather have a happy customer than a dissatisfied customer. It's not that at all. It's just that I just can't be fucking bothered. And there's no ego in it. I mean, we had a conversation the other day about one of our guys. It's not a client, but someone owes him money, and he was going to pursue him to the ends of the earth, until I asked him, well, let me ask you, is this an ego thing here? And he admitted, yeah, it's probably 50-60% ego here. Well, your ego is a fucking dangerous thing. And the weaker it is, the bigger it is, ironically.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit like a muscle. If your muscle's big, like not contracted, it's flabby, it's weak. But if you contract the muscle and it's tight, it's harder and it's tougher, to give an analogy. So pull your ego in, guys and girls. It's really not that. your ego really is a reflection of your concern about what others think about you. Think about that. Because, you know, you think, I don't want that guy getting one over on me, running away with my money. Why do you care what he thinks? He's got your money.
I just see it as paying someone to fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah, and if nothing else, look upon it as an investment in your marketing, because you've learned to do something better. You know, you've learned not to do work without a fucking deposit. That was worth learning.